Nick Glenn, and this is Wiffle Ball 103. Well, since obviously none of you listened to me through Wiffle Ball 101 or Wiffle Ball 102 since I came out with trophies both years, it's time I give you one more shot, and this is Wiffle Ball 103, the Nick Glenn way. Now, the past 2 years, we've been working the bodies through exercises, but let's face it, this is the 6th tournament. We're all getting old, our bodies are aching after each tournament, it's getting too much. So now, it's time to test out the old mind. We're doing some scouting this year on Wiffle Ball 103. The first person we're going to scout this year is a man that I drafted in the 2nd and 3rd annual Wiffle Ball tournament, and man did he choke. Tyler Doyle, TD Bank, everybody. This kid, if you all remember from the 2nd tournament, he just had a mental breakdown. But you see, if you look at him, he's got the build of a pitcher. So you got to be careful this year. He's got a nasty wiffle ball, knuckleball. But the thing about it is, you just got to get in his head. You start chanting, you get the fans out here, they start getting in his head, he completely shuts down. So I'm not too worried about him this year. The second person I would like to talk about this year, well, we really don't even need to talk about him because, let's be honest, he's not much of a threat at all. Dylan Martin. Need I say more? I mean, has he even ever played with ball? Isn't it? Who invited him? Anybody? I mean, come on. You know what? We don't even need to talk about him. He's gonna be out the first round. If he wins one game, good for you, kid. But let's be honest, he's not a threat. Moving on. All right, the next guy I'd like to talk about is a man that we all know is a kid who broke the curse of the Wiffle Ball tournament. Dylan Citron, everybody. I know he doesn't look like much of a Wiffle Ball player, but let me tell you something. You are absolutely right. He's not a Wiffle Ball player. He's won, what, one game in the past 3 seasons? And every single year, I'm drafting Garrett Barry, I'm doing this. Dude, you never win a goddamn game. I mean, what? How about this? How about you give up being a captain, put yourself in the draft, and maybe you'll just get on maybe I would have drafted you in the 3rd round, with the last pick, and maybe you would have won a trophy by now. Well, this is your last chance, and you're blowing it by being a captain, and look at the team you picked. Just that alone, you're not going to win. So, we don't have to scout him either. Once again, moving on. Alright, the next guy I'd like to talk about is Mike Lloyd. Now, Mike Lloyd is a man, I'll give it to him. He's a solid wiffle ball player. And by solid, I mean average, and by average, I mean mediocre. Every year, he comes in, he drafts a team, and he's like, oh, this year, I got the stacked team, I got Harold Hester, blah, 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 blah. And he never does anything, okay? He gets in, he wins a couple games here and there, he's like, I'm going all the way, and he doesn't do anything. Well, I mean, obviously because I win a tournament every year, but let's do a little scouting here. You can see Lloyd, he's got an average bat. See, like if you're pitching to him, you want to keep it low and outside because that's where he can't hit. Anything inside, he's going to pull right down the first baseline. But if you give it to him low and outside, you're going to catch him whiffing and swinging for the fences all day, and he's not going to hit a damn thing. So that's Mike Lloyd, and once again, a little bit more of a threat than Dylan Citron, but seriously, not a big deal. The next person I'd like to talk about is the most overrated player in the Wiffle Ball tournament, Devin Tomei. Now, I'll give him credit. He's got some crazy pitches. I mean, they're basically unhittable. And yes, he did win MVP last year, but Devin Tomei, let me ask you this. Do you have Coach of the Year? No, I have 2 of them. And the most important thing, do you have these? No, you don't. Now, let's scout Devin. He's got, like I said, he's got some crazy pitches. They'll be going, dipping in and out, whatever. But the thing is, he doesn't throw them for strikes. He throws them up here, down there, so all you have to do is sit there with the bat on your shoulder and have a nice, easy walk to first base. Also, he's going to throw them, and they're going to curve right over the plate, so you got to just be patient with it. Just like me. Devin, if you remember, I did have the game-winning hit against you to knock you out of the tournament. Another guy I'd like to talk about, a man by the name of Ryan McLaughlin. Yes, sir, Ryan McLaughlin, the oldest player in the Wiffle Ball tournament, and let me tell you something, his age shows. Last year, I think what did he have? A hit? Maybe? I don't know, but he struck out at least a dozen times, and, dude, what was up with that Luigi stash you had going? I mean, come on. Dan was playing the Mario music last year. That was sheesh. But once again, Ryan, he's a solid pitcher. He puts it over the plate. He puts the ball in play for his fielders. I'll give him that. Solid infielder. But when he's up at bat, not much to worry about. So Ryan McLaughlin. Last guy I'd like to talk about. Yes, it's the man who sets this whole thing up. Dan McLaughlin. Yeah, Dan, he, you know what? He's the only other guy, besides me, who has 2 Wiffle Ball trophies. No, he hasn't been in the finals every year like I have, and it has been 2 years since he's been there, but hey, listen, anything can happen in the 6th Wiffle Ball tournament. Everybody's got a shot. He drafted Zach Hay in the 1st round again this year, and, no comment. But, if Dan plays his best, I think he has a shot to reach the finals, but, reach the finals and not win, because we all know that I'm going to make it 3 straight. So, Dan McLaughlin, everybody. So that was my scouting report for this year's Wiffle Ball tournament. And listen, it's going to be a fun tournament. It's the last time. We're all reuniting for the last time. But here's the thing. Don't get your hopes up. We all know that I'm going to win the tournament again. 3 straight. This has been Wiffle Ball 103, the Nicoletta way. In my past in Wiffle Ball, I've experienced many wins. Yes! Oh God, yes! It feels so good! Screw you, Citron! Woo! And I've experienced losses. What are you looking at? Creighton. Oh. It's so goddamn hot! Milk was a bad choice!